Golden light spills across endless prairie grassland. A weathered ranch house sits beneath ancient cottonwood trees. Mountains rise purple in the distance. Samuel Garrett, 72, leather-worn and silver-haired, stands on his porch nursing a whiskey. His hand shakes slightly. Behind him, boxes line the hallway. His truck sits loaded with belongings in the driveway. Samuel moves through the empty rooms, each step echoing. He pauses at a family photograph on the mantel. Himself, younger, with a beautiful woman and 2 children. He touches the frame gently, then takes it down and wraps it in newspaper. Samuel sits across from Richard Thornton, 55, a slick real estate developer in an expensive suit that looks out of place in this small Montana town. Richard, Sam, I'm telling you, this is the best offer you're going to get. $2 million. That land has been sitting there for 3 generations doing nothing but growing grass. Samuel, it's been growing more than grass, Richard. Richard, look, I know you've had a tough few years. Martha passing, your kids out east with their own lives. But this development would bring jobs, growth. Samuel, strip malls, chain restaurants, houses that all look the same. Samuel stares out the window at the mountains. Samuel, so indeed. My grandfather homesteaded that land in 1889. He survived blizzards that killed half his cattle, drought, depression. My father fought in 2 wars and came back to that land. Martha and I raised our children there. Richard, the first understand the sentiment, Sam, but sentiment doesn't pay property taxes. And I know you're behind. Samuel's jaw tightens. Samuel, I'll have your answer by Friday. Samuel loads feed sacks into his truck. Joseph Whitehorse, 45, Apache, weathered face and kind eyes, helps him lift the last bag. Joseph, getting too heavy for us old men, Sam. Samuel, speak for yourself. I've got plenty of years left. They share a brief smile. Joseph's daughter, Nina, 16, waits by their old pickup truck, earbuds in, looking bored. Joseph, Nina, come help. She doesn't hear him. Joseph walks over and taps her shoulder. She pulls out the earbuds with visible irritation. Nina, what? Joseph, manners. Nina rolls her eyes but comes over. Samuel, getting big, Nina. Last time I saw you, you were barely up to my knee. Nina, I'm 16 now, Mr. Garrett. Samuel, 16. Lord, you in school. Nina, high school. Junior year. Joseph, she's good with numbers. Real good. Top of her class in mathematics. Nina looks embarrassed, but pleased. Samuel, smart like your father then. Joseph and Samuel exchange a look. Years of history in that glance. Young Samuel, 8, struggles in the current of a swollen spring river, going under. Young Joseph, 7, dives in without hesitation, grabbing Samuel's shirt and pulling him to shore. Both boys collapse on the bank, gasping. Young Samuel, you saved my life. Young Joseph, my grandfather says the river has a spirit. You have to respect it. Samuel, Joseph, you got a minute? I'd like to talk to you about something. Samuel and Joseph sit in a booth. Samuel slides a manila envelope across the table. Samuel, open it. Joseph opens the envelope, pulls out legal documents. His brow furrows as he reads. Joseph, Sam, what is this? Samuel, deed transfer documents. For the ranch. All 640 acres. Joseph's hands start to shake. Joseph, I don't understand. Samuel, I'm transferring the land to your family. It's yours. Free and clear. Joseph, Sam, I can't. Why would you? Samuel, because I have no one else. Because you're the closest thing to family I have left in this world. Because once, a long time ago, your family lived on that land before it was stolen from them. Joseph, Sam, that was over 100 years ago. Samuel, I know the history, Joseph. I know what happened here. My grandfather took land that wasn't his to take. He was part of something wrong. I can't fix all of it, but I can fix this one piece. Joseph's eyes are wet. Joseph, I don't know what to say. Samuel, say you'll take care of it. Say you'll let Nina grow up there. Let her children grow up there. Say you'll remember what it means. Joseph reaches across and grips Samuel's weathered hand. Joseph, brother, I will. But what about you? Where will you go? Samuel, I've got a little place lined up. Assisted living in Helena. It's time. These old bones can't manage a ranch anymore anyway. Joseph sits at the small kitchen table with his wife Sarah, 42, and Nina. The documents are spread before them. Sarah, Joseph, I can't believe this is real. Nina, we're going to be ranchers. Joseph, we're going to be landowners. Stewards. It's different. Sarah, 640 acres. My God. Why would he do this? Joseph, because Sam's a good man. Because he understands what it means. Nina. Means what? Joseph stands, walks to the window, looks out at the night. Joseph, your great-great-great-grandfather was born on land not far from here. His father before him, and his father's father. For thousands of years, our people lived here. Then, in less than one lifetime, it was all taken, stolen. Our people were moved, pushed, scattered. Many died. Nina listens intently now, earbuds forgotten. Joseph, so indeed. Sam's giving us back a piece of what was lost. Not because he has to, because he sees the truth. Sarah, what do we do now? Joseph, we call the elders. We call the family. We tell them what's happened. Thomas runs the river, 83. Deeply lined face, long silver braids, sits in his living room. Joseph and Sarah sit with him. Thomas, Samuel Garrett. I remember him as a boy. Wild. Kind heart, though. Joseph, he wants the transfer to happen this week. Friday. Thomas, this is a sacred thing he's doing, even if he doesn't know it. The land returning. Not given back. It was never his to give, but returned. Opening its arms again. Sarah, Thomas, how do we honor this? Thomas is quiet for a long moment. Thomas, we witness it. All of us. At dawn. The time of new beginnings. We sing the old songs. We let the land know we're coming home. Samuel sits alone in the empty living room. A bottle of whiskey beside him. Moonlight streams through bare windows. He pulls out an old photograph. Himself and Joseph as teenagers, arms around each other's shoulders, grinning at the camera. Phone calls made. Word spreading. Cars packed in the darkness. Old trucks loaded with folding chairs, blankets, drums. Families wake children in the pre-dawn darkness. Elders helped into vehicles. Teenagers texting each other the news. A caravan begins to form. Joseph drives. Sarah beside him. Nina in the back seat, watching the dark landscape pass. Nina, Dad, how many people do you think will come? Joseph, I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe a dozen. Maybe more. Sarah looks at her phone, reading messages. Sarah, Joseph, you need to see this. She shows him the screen. Message after message. Confirmations. People saying they're coming. Sarah, so indeed, it's not a dozen. It's... Samuel stands on his porch, coffee in hand. The sky is beginning to lighten in the east, stars fading. He expects to see Joseph's truck. Maybe Sarah's car. Maybe Thomas. Instead, he hears them before he sees them. Drums. Distant at first, then growing closer. He walks down from the porch toward the main road, squinting into the half-light. Then they come over the rise. Trucks. Cars. Dozens of them. Headlights like a river of stars flowing toward his ranch. Samuel's coffee cup slips from his hand. The vehicles pull off the road, parking along the fence line, in the fields. Doors open. People emerge. Men, women, children, elders. They keep coming. 50 people. 100. More. Joseph's truck pulls up to the house. He gets out, sees Samuel's stunned face. Joseph, Sam. The word spread. Everyone wanted to be here. Everyone wanted to witness this. Samuel, Joseph, I thought it would just be. Joseph, this is bigger than just me and my family. This is about all of us. Thomas approaches, leaning on a carved walking stick. Thomas, Samuel Garrett. I am Thomas, runs the river. We met when you were a boy, but you won't remember. Samuel, sir, I don't understand. All these people. Thomas, they came to witness. To remember. To sing the land awake again. The sun breaks the horizon. Golden light floods across the prairie. A woman begins to sing. Her voice rises clear and strong in a language Samuel doesn't understand. Others join. The sound swells, fills the valley. Samuel's eyes flood with tears. The people form a large circle in the main field. Samuel and Joseph stand in the center with Thomas and a tribal attorney. Thomas raises his arms. The singing quiets. Thomas, we stand on sacred ground. All ground is sacred, but this ground especially. Because it was home to our ancestors. Because their bones rest in these hills. Because their spirits walk these grasses. He turns to Samuel. Thomas, C-O-N-T, Samuel Garrett. Your grandfather was named John Garrett. In 1889, he filed a homestead claim on this land. But before that claim, our people had lived here for time beyond counting. Your grandfather was a good man by many measures, but he was also part of a great wrong. You know this. Samuel, voice shaking, I know it. Thomas, today, you are helping to heal an old wound. Not all the way. Some wounds are too deep. But you are helping, and we honor you for this. Thomas places his hand on Samuel's shoulder. The gesture is benediction and forgiveness both. Thomas, C-O-N-T, Joseph Whitehorse, you and your family are being entrusted with this land. Not to own. None of us truly own the earth, but to care for. To walk gently upon. To pass forward. Will you accept this responsibility? Joseph, I will. We will. The attorney steps forward with the documents. Samuel and Joseph sign. Sarah signs as witness. Toma marks the paper with his thumbprint, the old way. Attorney, the transfer is legal and binding. This land now belongs to the Whitehorse family. A great cheer goes up. Drums thunder. Women trill their voices in celebration. Samuel and Joseph embrace, both men weeping openly now. Samuel, brother. Joseph, brother. Tables have been set up. Food appears, fried bread, elk stew, corn, berries, coffee. More than Samuel has seen in years. Children run through the grass, playing. Elders sit in folding chairs, talking quietly. Young people take photos, post to social media. Nina approaches Samuel shyly. Nina, Mr. Garrett? Can I ask you something? Samuel, of course, sweetheart. Nina, why did you do this? Really? Samuel looks out at the gathering, at the people laughing and eating on land his family held for generations. Samuel, when I was your age, I thought I knew everything. Thought my family earned this land through hard work. And we did work hard, my grandfather, my father, me. We broke our backs on this land. He pauses, choosing words carefully. Samuel, so indeed, but as I got older, I start to understand that hard work doesn't make something right. My grandfather got this land because your great-great-great-grandfather was forced off it. That's the truth. And I can't keep living a lie, even a comfortable one. Nina, my dad says you saved his life once. Samuel, other way around, actually. He saved mine. Nina, then you both saved each other. Samuel smiles, touches her shoulder gently. Samuel, I suppose we did. You're going to do great things, Nina. I can feel it. The crowd begins to thin. Families pack up, say goodbyes. But many remain. Thomas approaches Samuel, who sits on the porch steps. Thomas, you know, there's a story my grandfather told me about a white rancher who helped hide Apache families when the soldiers came. 1880s. That rancher was beaten for it. His barn burned. But he never gave up those families. Samuel, I didn't know that. Thomas, history isn't simple. There's been great wrong, great cruelty, but also great kindness, also courage. Both can be true. Samuel, I hope I've done the right thing. Thomas, the land will remember. That's what matters. Samuel drives away from the ranch for the last time. In his rearview mirror, he can see Joseph's family moving boxes into the house. Nina running across the yard with a dog. He smiles through tears. Joseph and Sarah stand together watching the sun set over their land, because it's truly theirs now. Sarah, can you believe this is real? Joseph, no. But it is. Nina joins them, carrying a box of her belongings. Nina, Dad, can I paint my room? Joseph, laughing, yes, sweetheart. You can paint your room. Nina, can I have a horse? Sarah, let's start with unpacking. They walk back toward the house together, silhouetted against the golden light. Samuel's new room is small but comfortable. He unpacks the family photograph, sets it on the bedside table. His phone rings. Joseph. Joseph, VO Sam? Just wanted to let you know we're settling in. Nina already claimed a room with the best view. Samuel laughs. Samuel, good. That's good. Joseph, VO Sam. I'll never be able to thank you enough. You know that, right? Samuel, you already have. For 65 years, you already have. The house glows with warm light. Smoke rises from the chimney. Joseph sits on the porch steps in the spot Samuel sat for decades. He looks up at the stars, the same stars his ancestors watched from this same place. Joseph, softly, in Apache were home. The ranch is transformed. New fencing, gardens growing, solar panels on the barn. Young Apache kids learning traditional crafts in a workshop area. A sign at the entrance. Whitehorse Ranch and Cultural Center. Samuel's truck pulls up. Joseph jogs over, grinning. Joseph, Sam. You came. Samuel, you think I'd miss this? They walk through the property. Samuel is amazed by the changes. Samuel, Joseph, this is incredible. Joseph, we got a grant. State cultural preservation money. We're going to hold workshops here. Traditional skills, language classes, history. Keep the culture alive for Nina's generation. In the workshop, elders teach young people beadwork, basket weaving, traditional songs. Nina approaches, now 17, confident and poised. Nina, Mr. Garrett, come see my project. She leads him to a corner where she's building a detailed model. Nina, so indeed, it's a sustainable ranch design. I'm applying to college next year for environmental engineering. I want to design systems that work with the land, not against it. Samuel, your father said you were smart. He undersold it. A new structure, a simple pavilion with benches around a central fire pit. 50 or 60 people gather. Thomas, now frielier but still strong-voiced, speaks. Thomas, 6 months ago, something remarkable happened here. A wrong began to be made right. Today, we dedicate this space to learning, to remembering, to healing. And we honor the man who made it possible. He gestures to Samuel. Thomas, so indeed, Samuel Garrett, would you light our first fire? Samuel, overwhelmed, accepts a torch from Thomas. His hands shake as he touches it to the kindling. The fire catches, grows, sends sparks spiraling into the darkening sky. Samuel, I want to say something, if I may. The crowd quiets. Samuel, so around at the faces I'm just in the firelight. All I know is cattle and grass, but I know this. Fence. We can't undo I don't have fancy words. We can't bring back what was lost. But we can decide who we want to be going forward. We can decide to see each other, to help each other, to remember that we're all just walking this earth for a little while, and it matters what tracks we leave. He looks at Joseph. Samuel, so indeed, 65 years ago, a boy pulled me from a river. I've spent every day since grateful for that. This land, it's just my way of saying thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for showing me that healing is possible. Joseph stands, embraces Samuel. Others join, a mass of people surrounding them, holding them, witnessing them. Drums begin. Voices rise in song. The fire dances higher. Samuel sits alone by the fire as the crowd disperses. Stars wheel overhead in their ancient patterns. Nina sits down beside him. Nina, Mr. Garrett? Can I tell you something? Samuel, always. Nina, I used to think the past didn't matter. Like it's done, it's over, why does anyone care? But now, being here, learning our language, hearing the stories, I get it. The past is always with us. It shapes everything. Samuel, that's wisdom beyond your years. Nina, will you come back? To visit? I know it's a long drive from Helena, but Samuel, wild horses couldn't keep me away. They sit in comfortable silence, watching the fire die to embers. Samuel lies in bed, unable to sleep. He gets up, goes to the window. The city lights of Helena spread below. But in his mind he sees the ranch, his ranch, Joseph's ranch, the land itself. He thinks of his grandfather, taking what wasn't his. His father, never questioning it. Himself, finally making it right. He thinks of Martha, wishes she could have seen this. He thinks of Joseph, pulling him from the river, over and over, in 100 different ways across a lifetime. Samuel whispered, "Thank you." A large gathering, even bigger than the original dawn ceremony. Nina stands at a podium, high school graduation cap and gown. Nina, and this ranch, this place, has taught me that we carry our ancestors with us. Their struggles, their wisdom, their strength. When Mr. Garrett gave this land to my family, he gave us more than acres and grass. He gave us roots, connection, home. She looks at Samuel, sitting in the front row. Nina, C.O.N.T'd. I'm going to Montana State University in the fall to study environmental engineering. And I'm going to use everything I learned to help my people, to help this land, to honor what we've been given. Not just this ranch, but the opportunity to heal. Thunderous applause. Sarah and Joseph beam with pride. Samuel's eyes shine with tears. Music, dancing, food. 3 generations mingling. Thomas sits with Samuel, both old men watching the young people dance. Thomas, you know what you've done, Samuel? You've given them a future rooted in the past. That's a rare gift. Samuel, I just gave back what should never have been taken. Thomas, no. You did more. You saw. You acknowledged. You acted. Most people never get that far. A young boy runs up to them, maybe 6 years old. Boy, Grandpa Thomas. Come dance. Thomas, I'm too old for dancing, little one. Boy, no, you're not. Thomas laughs, lets the boy pull him up. He turns back to Samuel. Thomas, life, Samuel. This is what it looks like when we get it right. Samuel walks the property alone. Past the house, past the barn, out into the open grassland. He finds the spot where he used to stand every evening, watching the sun set over mountains that have stood forever. The grass whispers around him. Meadowlarks sing their evening song. He feels Martha beside him, though she's been gone 5 years. He feels his father, his grandfather, all the Garretts who walked this ground. And he feels Joseph's ancestors, the ones who were here first, who never really left. Samuel, to the land, to the spirits, to whoever might hear, I did my best. I hope it was enough. The land answers in the only way it knows, with beauty, with continuity, with the promise that life goes on. Joseph appears in the distance, walking toward him. They stand together, 2 old men who saved each other's lives in different ways, watching the light fade and the stars emerge. Joseph, it's beautiful, isn't it? Samuel, it always was. I just couldn't see it clearly until I let it go. Joseph, you didn't let it go, brother. You set it free. There's a difference. They walk back toward the house together, where lights glow warm and voices drift on the evening air. A marble marker has been placed at the entrance to the property, dedicated to Samuel Garrett 1906 to 2023, who saw what was wrong and made it right. A true friend, a true brother. Nina, now in her early 20s, professional attire, stands with a group of visiting students, teaching them about sustainable land management and indigenous cultural preservation. A young child runs past, laughing. Then another. The sound of life, of continuity, of healing. The camera pulls back, rising above the ranch, showing the full expanse of the land, the house, the cultural center, the gardens, the grassland stretching to the mountains. People working together, learning together, healing together. The land finally is home.